and welcome to episode 274 of Checkpoint Chat. It's been a while. Things have changed. But what hasn't changed is my co-host, Matthew Figuera.
What do you mean? Yeah, when we started chatting this morning, I kind of forgot that the last time we recorded was like 3 weeks, 4 weeks ago. I don't know how long ago it was. That was just pre the move.
Pre-move.
We
I mean, how many locations has this podcast gone through now? It's my parents' house. It was your cottage. It was my previous apartment. It's your apartment in other apartments in London.
No, it's this
my
other
house.
place.
Your new apartment.
7, 8. Yes, we are
the traveling podcast.
There's a globe trotting. Okay, it means 2 locations. The apartment trotting, the house trotting podcast. Sure,
some might argue that Benoni constitutes a third location, but you know that's neither here nor there. So
I mean, what is our first podcast episode called? That one,
something Tom Jones, the one that we wasn't it? I don't think we ever published that one, did we?
No, I think that was the one we published.
The one that we published.
The one before that we didn't. I can't remember what that was called.
It was like near a road called Tom Jones or something like that. I think that was the first episode. I mean,
joke.
There's no way of us knowing this, you know.
If only we had some way to go back. I think the joke from that came from, I just missed the off-ramp to your parents' place back then. Yes, it was a hell of a drive.
Yeah, I mean, it was a hell of a drive even when you were living in Kensington, and then you moved to London.
Parkview.
That was a drive.
London. Yeah, that's
a long drive.
That was a trek, yeah. But I mean, then we, the one thing we can thank COVID for was that we had to figure out remote real fast, and it actually was a huge benefit. Just going like,
agreed, yeah.
We can just do this remotely.
Yeah,
the whole song and a dance, which was great. So.
And I mean, I think we were worried that we'd lose something not being in the same room, and there's always a benefit to that. I definitely think like our sound was slightly better when we did that, but that could have just been the room acoustics.
Yeah.
But other than that, everything totally fine. I think, I mean, if I was doing those drives like you were doing, I would be like, oh, thank God, don't have to do that.
I didn't mind it so much, but it's weird. I was for a second, I was like, how the hell did we do video? I'm like, well, we just didn't do video.
For a long time, we didn't.
Wasn't a thing, yeah. It was.
Oh, yeah, in person,
COVID.
We didn't do video at all. Yeah, yes, you're right.
Then because I'm the person I am, you never told me to do. There was no expectation. I was like, I'm going to put all of our last episodes on YouTube, even if there's no video. And good God that I do it.
Did you do that? I didn't know you did that.
Yeah, the whole podcast exists on YouTube, even pre-video.
That's crazy.
I was a
when
man
did
on a
you
mission.
Do that?
I don't know. Well, I think I just put like basically the animated graphic we have now, just that video.
Yes.
Just the audio, just so it lived on YouTube as well. So if Spotify does or YouTube does, we have a backup somewhere.
That's good. That's good. I'm busy hoping that it's Discord cutting your audio out and not your Audacity. I'm just like praying.
I know.
Because every now and then your audio just dips.
Oh, no.
As long as your local recording is good,
my Audacity's looking good. I can see the bars moving, so it's all good.
I think it's just Discord is just not enjoying your voice anymore. So
it's just decided.
Quite unfair.
You know?
Yeah, it's just decided. I mean, its updates are like, actually, this tone of voice, no, we're just going to cut this out every time it appears.
Well, I hope my voice is coming through. I know on my recording software it's coming through my microphone, but does Discord have it as my microphone or is it my webcam? Because Discord's very good at going, hey man, you've set up your microphone as a default device, but your computer's been off for like an evening. I forgot what you wanted me to do, so...
Well, the audio sounds good. So the audio, I mean, the quality is good. It just like cuts out every now and then. So I just need it. It's like a guessing game. It's like, what did Matty say in the past 2 seconds?
Maybe it's the internet. Weirdly.
Oh no! Don't even.
No.
There.
No, I was going to say that. So strangely, in South Africa, not strange. That's the wrong word, but you'll get what I mean when I say it. In South Africa, fiber is like a norm now, right? through in most areas. I mean, apart from maybe
most metropolitan areas,
you'll get fiber. And the nice thing about fiber is that your upload equals your download. So if you've got a 100 meg line, you'll have a 100 meg upload. Prior to fiber, though, ADSL was the norm, and uploads in ADSL were not so hot. I mean, if you had a 20 meg line, you're paying some big bucks. And I think the upload was something stupid like 2 megs, if that. It's usually like 10% of what you download.
It was awful.
Weirdly, that's pretty common in London, because at our old place, I had a beautiful 360 meg line, super fast download, but the upload was only 36 meg, okay? But it was weird because our upload in South Africa was faster than the upload I was getting in London, which meant uploading episodes somehow took longer. Well, not somehow, it just took longer, weirdly. But what I'm getting at where I've moved to now, I'm back on normal fiber. So 150 meg download, 150 meg upload. So I don't know, maybe is my line being funny? I don't know. I hope not.
Not sure. I mean, I guess it's just because of the underlying tech of the internet. It's not necessarily like worse internet. It's just, it's not fiber. So you don't have that ability to have that asynchronous like up and down. Although that's changed locally. You'll get some packages where, I think mine is actually like that, where it's 500 down, 250 up. And I wonder if they do that to like free up some capacity on the rest of the line.
Because realistically, who actually needs that much upload?
100%, yeah. And I mean, if you need that, then you just go for a higher tier plan that gives you that. But I would say 99% of people do not need a 500 meg upload.
No.
I would wager that most don't even need a 50 meg upload, because it's quite a lot, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm glad that internet in general has kind of become just good across the board. We're not in the dark days of 4 meg ADSL and waiting 2 days on a weekend for a game to download, because for a while it felt like we were definitely behind on that. Like things were just going digital, and we were not prepared.
Sweet child, 4 meg was fast. I mean, we all remember the dial-up days, but I remember after dial-up there was ISDN, which I never had. One of my cousins had it.
ISDN? I never had that either.
ISDN was basically twice as fast as a modem. So if modem's 56k, ISDN I think was 128. And I think
must have been nice.
I could be wrong. I think there was also a dual options you could bump up to 256. Like now you're flying, okay. But I remember when ADSL became more of a commonplace, but even then, like 4 meg was the peak. That was like, whoa, that's so, you're paying how much for that? The norm was like 512, 1 meg, maybe 2 meg. And I think back to those days where I started online gaming when we had an ADSL line, but we had capped internet. Our internet cap for the longest time was 3 gigs. And it lasted somehow. There were times we went over to like 4, maybe 5. But I think of Steam update. I mean, I played a lot of Counter-Strike, Team Fortress. Good God, like how?
I was about to say, I remember very distinctly like being on 3G at the time, because my parents had 3G dongles for work, and I think the cap there was also like 2 or 3 gig, and Counter-Strike must have been Go at the time was like 1.6 gig download.
You're like, that's so much.
Half the cap.
It's half.
Yeah. And because it was so slow, you had to like segment it over days. Thankfully, Steam already then had figured out like checkpoint downloads, which thank goodness, because actually would have been impossible for us if not for that. So we're in a much better space now. I mean, I yesterday put on a game to download that we won't be talking about today, but I basically put it on to download, went for a shower, came back, and it was ready. It's like, this is great.
The future's
here. Yeah. The future is here. The future's now. It's not a chiral network, but it's close. You know?
Yeah.
Although I don't fully understand how that shit works either, so it's fine. It's the internet through the tar
We'll
currents.
talk about that.
We can ask Tarman. I'm sure he knows. He knows Sam. That's for sure.
It's Tarman.
No shit! You wake me up every fucking morning.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Sam has got the patience of an angel. I swear to God.
Yep. We'll talk about that in a second. But before we actually segue into that, I just want to say that poor Sam gets woken up abruptly all the time. An alarm goes off.
A horrible alarm as well. It's just like a horn.
Dude's like barely rubbed the sleep out of his eyes, and it's like, Sam, it's time, man. Like, oh my God.
I do love those moments where Sam wakes up. He's like you said, doesn't rub his eyes or anything. He just looks at the little hologram which shows like a camera outside, and it's like, do you want to sleep more? And it's like, yes. And he just like kind of collapses again. It's like,
I wish I had the choice in your life. It's like, do you want to get up in the morning or at night? Because you do realize the implication is that he rolls over and goes back to
sleeps
sleep
for another 12 hours.
12 hours.
I mean, the poor man never eats, so I respect it. He eats little floating worms every few seconds, that satiates him.
Have you tried eating an apple in that game?
What? Where do you get an apple?
Have you not had any cutscenes? Maybe it's late in the story where you get an apple and you put on your bedside.
No, I don't have that. The only thing I have on my bedside are iced teas, little worms, and then little trinkets that other people have given me that I can't really interact with.
No apple. Maybe that comes late in the story. I didn't remember it being.
It could be one of the, because I know you get, if you do orders for certain people, maybe
it's a random
trinkets.
interaction.
Yeah, because I've got like one of those little, I think it's like a fan or something on a wooden stick, and it's like a good luck charm or something, and that's on the table. I can't do anything with it, but it's on the table, so maybe it's one of those.
I don't know.
Okay, how does he eat an apple?
No, you just have to watch this man eat an apple.
Is it unhinged?
Let me just say that if I was Norman Reedus and Kojima's like, okay, cool, I want you to do this, this, and this, I'd be like, what the this guy,
no.
He's I don't know. I just imagine Kojima directing some stuff, and then these being English speaking actors going like, what is this guy on about? It's like, you want me to do what?
Everyone's just looking at each other.
Yeah.
And then the actress for Rain is just like, yeah, this is normal.
The translator's like, Mr. Kojima, won't you? You're like, what? Tell Mr. Kojima. Actually, don't translate that.
There's some. I guess we're just talking about Death Stranding now.
There you go.
There's some good moments in that game where there was one where I came back onto the, what's a DHV Magellan? I still don't know what that means, and I'm very curious to learn what that
When you find out,
means.
you're going to laugh. It is.
I can't wait. I've been trying to think of what that acronym could mean, because I know you said it's stupid.
You'll never figure it out until you know what it is. You're like, oh my God, like, how did I not know this?
Imagine the acronym was just Sam, it's Tarman. Like SIR, SIT or something like that.
But it is that every time, because for those of you who don't know what the hell we're talking about, the DHV Magellan, which it's the vehicle, it's your base of operations in Death Stranding 2. Okay.
It's a very suggestive looking ship. Is that just me, or it's just not?
But what's funny is that at any time it's mentioned in the story, they don't go like, hey Sam, you're going to board the DHV, full stop. It is always the full name. Sam, the DHV Magellan has stopped working. Sam, the DHV Magellan is run out of time. Like, oh my, just call it the DHV.
It's with everything though. Like if Fragile talks about the, what's the courier network? APA.
Oh my gosh.
APAC? I just know the acronym, but she says the whole thing out all the time. And yeah, it's like they were really proud of the names they came up with, and they wanted you to remember that these are the names they came up with. Do they ever explain Fragile's hands? Like the fucking glove thing she has? Like,
I think they do.
Because she just has them.
I'm trying to remember if it was like an explicit narrative, blah, 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 or was it a note I read? I can't remember if it was like because I mean, even pulling up your little ring terminal, that database is packed with.
It's huge, yeah.
Which is
it's kind of
super
cool.
handy, yeah. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I can't remember if I read her thing or if it was an actual exposition moment. I honestly can't remember.
I do kind of love that even when you're bringing the game back out of standby, so you haven't like restarted the game, you've just booted it up back from the dashboard, it will open up the codex if something happened last time you played, like story-wise, and it's like, remember this happened. I'm like, oh yeah, that's pretty useful.
Thanks.
There's just some moments that I don't think these are necessarily spoilers because they're kind of small, but if you are sensitive to this, like, don't listen for the next couple of seconds. But there's the one moment where you get back on the ship and Tomorrow and Rainy are playing this game to predict the weather where they like toss their boots out. And if it lands like one way, then and it's like a very touching moment because like Rainy is always followed by rain and Tomorrow's basically like, don't worry, we can kind of change that. And it's completely undercut by Sam just watching this whole thing play out and then him trying to flick his boot that is completely strapped to his like so many laces and him just kicking his foot in the air and then being like frustrated that his boot doesn't come off. I'm like
again, a hard cut to Norman Reedus being like, oh, I'm ready to act, and then Mr. Kojima's like, Shanza's like, Mr. Kojima would like you to try kick your boot off despite it being
He's just like
he wants me to
cool.
What? So hang on, how much am I getting paid for this?
It's just so ridiculous. And then the other one, which was actually in a trailer, but I completely forgot that it happened. When you properly meet, I guess this is somewhat of a spoiler, but Higgs again in that weapons factory.
Yeah.
And he's doing his little like, I'm a crow, I'm a terrible bag. Like I don't get his shtick. He's just bad for being bad. It's kind of fun. But when he notices Dollman for the first time, and Dollman fucking hisses at him and his eyes go red, I lost my shit. I was like, what the fuck?
I think
is he a cat?
I have a screenshot of that somewhere because I was also so taken aback. Like, what just happened?
It's just like, don't you dare touch me.
Even that actor. Sorry, Mr. Kojima wants me to what?
I never get tired of Dollman also animating at like 15 frames a second. It's just so jarring and I love it.
I mean, what is this conversation? We're just talking about random things we like and that's cool.
What is this game?
Dollman, it's such a... I had no idea going into the game because I watched like the reveal trailer because I'm like, okay, cool, Death Stranding, whatever. But I obviously didn't want to watch too many story trailers because I don't know if I don't think it's a Kojima thing. I think it's mainly like a Japanese thing where it doesn't matter, just spoilers left, right, and center. Like they'll just show too much in trailers.
I mean, Kojima's always done that. His reveal trailers are like 10 minutes long.
Yeah, and it's just like I don't want to watch the whole story before I've played the game. So, anyways, what I'm getting is that I don't really know much about Dollman. Like I'm like, oh, there's a doll that animates like 15 FPS, whatever. I did not realize that he was with you like the whole journey, and he's a really cool supporting character. Just although sometimes it can be really annoying when he states the obvious, and I know it's a gamer thing of like it's trying to help gamers. It's like, Sam, you dropped your package. I'm like, yes, I just fell down a mountain. Like, thanks. Like I realized that. But yeah, it's a really, really cool character that I've enjoyed.
It's like, thanks, dickhead. I'm just trying to get up off my scuffed knees here. Just calm down.
Yeah, but it is
I really thought that he'd have far more insightful things to say in your room when you get to talk to him. But he just kind of recaps shit you've done. And I'm like, okay, I'm just not going to talk to you anymore. Yeah.
But the in-between stuff, just the random conversations here and there, I really like him. Cool stuff. I mean, you far enough in the game now that you've assembled like a couple people on the DHV Magellan. And it is just so funny where if I think back, I'm like, what a random cast of people to just pull together. Like,
oh yeah.
Tarman, what's his shtick? Rainy, cool. Dollman, Fragile, okay, cool. Like, what are these people doing here? There's
also this implication that Fragile was busy during the 11 months between the first and the second game because she just knows these people that are on the other end of the globe. And it's like,
her and Rainy are like BFFs. I'm like, who is this?
How? Yeah. I just, even Tarman, even whoever the fuck the not the president, the other dude who's just like a mannequin with Die Hardman's voice on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best facial animations.
Could you choose whose voice it was? Because I know they give you an option, but when I tried some options, he was like, nah.
So I looked it up after the fact. I chose Die Hardman like first choice because like I like this character. He can sound like this character, whatever. But because then when I finished the game, I was like, hang on, did I just choose that voice, or could I have chosen any of the others and had them talk through me the whole game? It's like, no, you always ultimately get funneled to Die Hardman.
Yeah, because I tried some others just... I don't know why I tried. I think I was curious because some choices were just so outlandish. I was like, yeah, that seems fun. I think one of them was Guillermo del Toro's character, and I was like, oh, I like him too. And I think that the explanation was like, no, he's dead. That would be quite disrespectful. It's like, I guess that's true. Shit.
Why give me the option?
Yeah, like, and then, yeah. So when it eventually just pushed me towards Die Hardman, it made kind of sense considering how much dialogue there is. There's no way they would have had 3 actors just do that.
That's why at the end of the game I was like, hold on, like because I just had Die Hardman the whole way. I didn't realize that you couldn't choose the others in the end. So I was like, no ways that they did. They got all these people to voice like a whole ass character, which you could probably like. There's a 1 in 4 chance, 3 in 4 chance unless all the others, whatever.
But you're right, the facial expressions on that mannequin are top tier. Between that and Higgs's mask changing expressions between cuts of the camera, incredible. Just so good. I'm having a good time with it because I know last time we spoke about it, I wasn't down on it. I was just like, there are things missing here. And I do think some of those things still are, but I've had to tweak the game manually to kind of bring back some of the friction that I was missing. So there's this system called APAC, where basically every time you bring a new settlement online, they give you like capacity on this network essentially, and it's just like a sort of resource that you use to progress through a upgrade tree. Like you have specific nodes that give you specific abilities, and you have this pool of total resources that you can divvy up between different upgrades and packages that cost different things. And you can completely respec this at any point.
Yeah.
I just felt like some of those abilities felt way too generous with the advantage they gave you over gameplay. Like one of them makes you almost silent to enemies, for an example. Another, I think, slows the rate of degradation of cargo in Timefall to like almost non-existent degrees. So it's like you don't even have to worry about Timefall shelters or stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think there's an upgrade even though it's like rain will recharge your batteries.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Godsend, but also like how?
Yeah, it's like how, and also you'll just never run out of battery like ever again. So I made the decision to like not use that system at all. It's just like everything's off. And I think it's made the experience a bit more challenging to me. Not like overtly challenging, but enough where I'm having to think about things and not just routinely run between areas and not actually think about planning my route and stuff like that. And that's brought me back to, I think, the feeling I had with the first game. That, and I think, like you said, the environment does shift a bit so that vehicles don't become as viable anymore. They're still there, but it makes a bit more sense to kind of walk to a lot of places and utilize zip lines and stupid jump pads that let you do like triple jumps in the air off mountains, which is really fun. So yeah, I'm having a much better time with it, and I'm just enjoying the time that I spend with it. And it seems like I've still got a way to go, even though I'm about like 30 or so hours in. So,
but
yeah, it's good.
It sounds like you've been doing quite a fair bit of side stuff, though.
So I feel like I wasn't. I feel like the most I've done is I get somewhere, based off a story mission, and I'll do maybe one order there because it's like, oh, that order is actually going to take me to where I want to go next anyway.
Yeah.
And I feel like since we last spoke, I started mainlining it a bit more, and yet it doesn't feel like I'm making like rapid progress, but I'm making progress at a rate that I think feels normal now. Like I'm very quickly hopping between different settlements and bringing different parts of Australia online quite quickly. But at the same time, I'm still taking a few minutes here or there to upgrade the monorail or deliver a pizza order or something like that. So like I think it's a balance, because you can definitely get caught in a loop of just bouncing between the same 3 settlements doing orders because they just keep popping up. And I think that is problematic.
Yeah. Well, you said you're 30 hours into the game, 30-ish.
Yeah, it says 30 hours whenever I make a delivery.
I just looked at my final playtime, was 46 hours. So like, and I did the same thing where there were some places I went to, like, and some of the porters or the people you talk to are very explicit of like, hey man, if you help me out, I'll give you a very important upgrade to do X. And you're like, yeah, actually,
some of those upgrades are good.
Yeah, like actually, really I'll just take the time to do that. So, I mean, I didn't do a lot of side stuff, but 46 hours with a fair mix of mainlining, a touch of side stuff. So maybe
I reckon I'll hit somewhere similar.
Yeah, maybe you'll hit in the same sort of place, like another 12 to 15 hours in your role credits.
I think that's true, because I think the first 10 hours I spent doing a lot of stuff I didn't need to do. So I think I've like put myself back on track now. I reckon I'd probably hit about 50 at the pace I'm going, and just kind of seeing how the continent is unfolding. I think that's probably where I'll end up, which is fine with me. Like another 20 hours, I'm having a good time, and the rate of new things that I'm getting is pretty interesting and fun, even though I feel like the gameplay loop has been defined, and the things that I'm getting are just like superfluous things that I can try out. They don't rapidly like change the game, or radically change it, rather.
It's
it's good. Like if I get a little V2 of the boost skeleton so I can run really quick, or a silenced version of a machine gun, that's rad. Like it helps me do things that I was going to do anyway, you know. But it's surprising how much I'm sticking to early game gear, like the bowler gun, really fun to use.
I told you that, I think, I don't know if it was in the last episode or off air, you mentioned like the bowler gun, like you use it. I was like, listen, don't trash talk that thing. It's really strong.
That thing is sick. Yeah. It's really good. And even though the enemies have changed, because now they have different sets of armor, you can't stealthily take them down if you don't have things like power gloves. The bowler gun still stays viable like the whole way through, because you just bowler a dude on the neck. It might not knock them out, but it takes them out long enough that I can get close and drop kick them or something, which is still one of the most satisfying things in the world. And also the most embarrassing thing to whiff. You run up to an enemy who's stunned, you just drop kick and just go right by them.
Those enemies like still struggling with the bowler cord. Like, what is this guy
doing? It's like, how am I going to get beaten up by this?
Yeah, like idiot? I can't believe I let this guy get this quarter.
It's so funny.
It's such a weird game. Like, I think I enjoy the sequel way more than I love the first game, but we spoke about it in the last episode where the first game took a long time to get going, and even. Only when I finished it, I was like, man, like that was worth my time. But I still could not recommend someone goes and picks up and plays the first game unless they're willing to commit to it. The second game is like, it's filled with so much goofiness and so much silly stuff. But I just can't put my finger on it. I just thoroughly enjoyed it. You're just delivering packages. Like that is the on the box feature. But there's just something, I don't know, is it therapeutic? Is it dopamine? Is it the fact that you get likes just fed to you and it just triggers that part of your brain? You're like, oh, cool, like people are acknowledging that ladder I put down or whatever. I don't know. But I rolled credits like, let me see, like let's say about a month ago almost. And I still think about the game. I loved playing it. It was just so fun.
No, it's good. It's balanced the ideas in the first game and added to them, I think, in meaningful ways. And yes, I do think they've sanded down some of the elements that made Death Stranding so riveting to have like a bit of a wider appeal. But I'm glad that there are ways to bring some of that friction back. And now that I've found them, I'm having a much better time with it in a way that I can definitely say that this is an improvement over the first, while retaining the spirit of that as well, which is what in the beginning few hours I thought it had lost. Like this is a fundamentally better game, but it's lost sort of identity that the first one had, and I don't think that's the case anymore, which I'm very happy about.
Damn, I can't wait for you to finish it. There are some scenes I'm dying for you to watch and message me like, what?
There's some proper good chuckle-worthy scenes there. It's good. I think that's also the thing you have to take into account is that this is silly. It's trying to be very serious, and it is at some points, but it is also self-aware that it is silly. Yeah. And I think, you can come and say that, Metal Gear was so much more serious than that. Metal Gear was silly
Metal
as hell.
Gear was
Metal Gear was so stupid at times.
Yeah, I think I think with Metal Gear Delta Triangle, what is
the new one coming out? Yeah. Metal Gear Solid Delta.
I think
the remake of 3.
You shared a trailer or a snippet the other day, and then you're like, "Man, I just can't stop giggling every time Ocelot goes like, "Wow."
So stupid.
That's in Metal Gear Solid. So if people say like, "Oh, it's serious," like, no, you forgot. That game's got some ridiculous stuff that happens as well.
There's a character named Ocelot who screams like an ocelot. It's fucking stupid while juggling revolvers. Like, come on.
Yeah,
you're going to tell me that was a serious game?
No,
come on, please.
Hang on. Okay. You're telling me a game where your dude hides in a box to get away from enemies is serious. And in Metal Gear Solid 5, that box had so many different applications. Okay, like you could stand up and you could look like a guard. It could fold out like, you're telling me that game is super serious. No,
the soldiers would come and salute that guard, which is just...
A game where you can put a balloon on a tank to just yeet it to the sky to your base. You're telling me that game is super serious? No. Fam,
Or Metal Gear Solid 5, you could get your horse to poop on demand, and then that would cause like ATVs to spin off the road and crash. Like,
wow.
Very serious game, guys.
Mr. Kojima wants to what in the game?
The horses now wondering what the translators say.
I'm telling you, I think. It goes without saying, I think Kojima is a crazy dude, but I love his work. But I do wonder what it is like to work with him, because on social media, he comes across as like this super, like, I'm just here to watch movies and appreciate arts and make cool games. But I'm like, how difficult is he to work with? If he's like, I want this horse to poop on the road, and people go like, Mr. Kojima, that's a crazy idea. He goes, I am Kojima. Fucking do this now. Like, what is he like to work with? I don't know.
I wouldn't be shocked if he's somewhat challenging to work with. Not in a. So. I'm hoping that it's not in the way that he's like extremely toxic or something like that. I just think he has a lot of ideas, and I would imagine he's very steadfast on, I want this to be the way this is, even though there'd be other people in the room going, this is stupid. And I would hope that a lot of the stuff that he does instigate is somewhat pushed back on. Like, sometimes giving creators like that just a blank check to do whatever they want and end up in disaster. And I think that's what a lot of people thought happened to Death Stranding. It was like Kojima unhinged, and you could almost tell in some areas it was like, maybe this went a bit too far.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably what Death Stranding 2 feels like. It's him reined in a little bit. And I think that's good. Like, no one should just have like carte blanche on these things. Like, you look at someone like Sam Lake, he, I think, has a lot of great ideas that have led to good and bad decisions in games. And I think the best ones recently, like in Alan Wake 2 and Control, he's not the only writer on them. He's not the game director. So it's like the collaborative effort makes everyone's ideas feel stronger overall. And I hope that's the case at Kojima Productions.
I do. Yeah, you mentioned, I wonder... Because there's definitely a lot more restraint in this game where cutscenes, for example, there are cutscenes, don't get me wrong, but you find that the cutscenes are a lot shorter, like to the point almost.
Way shorter.
And I wondered, like, was that him going, actually, this game I'm going to be more focused, or is it someone going like, listen,
yeah,
production costs are too expensive. You got to cut those. You got to cut those.
I mean, it got ridiculous at some point. Like Metal Gear Solid 4 is the example of that. It's obscene. Like I think there are cutscenes. It's not even the final cutscene in the game. The one you've never played Metal Gear Solid 4, hey?
One day it'll come off PlayStation.
There's one
3.
at like the 2/3 into the game. It's like the big story climax, which kind of tries to explain like the whole series twists in one. that cutscene is 90 minutes long. It's crazy. It just goes on and on and on. And it's like, oh, remember this thing. Oh, actually, this is actually what was happening then. And it's just like this information overload. It's like it's cool, directed really well and beautiful, but it's too much. That's why I think there are people that don't like that game, because it does feel
too long,
50% like cutscenes and 50% actually playing something.
Yeah. I still need to play it.
I love it. I'm hoping it's in the next collection. But please. Yeah, just the beginning of that game is unhinged, because it is just like, cool, introduction cutscene. You walk with Sam like 5 meters. He gets a call on the little radio, speaks to Otacon for like 10 minutes. Cool, put it away. Walk maybe another 30 seconds. Fuck, another cutscene. You just like, God damn it. Like, can I just play this game? Like,
damn this person.
It's really unhinged. Yeah, it's good. Speaking of games that feel like cutscenes, Mafia The Old Country. Damn. That game, beautiful. Really, really good looking game. Really cool that they're able to capture this idea of, when is it? Like the early 90s, Sicily? It's really a good looking game and really captures that sort of vibe and feeling of the time in a way that there's not many games that sort of explore that period, at least with that setting. But man, it does feel like there is a massive emphasis on story over an emphasis on gameplay, to the point where it does feel like you're kind of on a roller coaster and just watching the beats fly by you rather than making an impact on the world itself. So to rewind a little bit, Mafia The Old Country is going back to the style of Mafia 1 and 2, where it is a linear adventure. I know Mafia 2 had you kind of like, you still could drive within a semi-open world, but it wasn't an open world game. Like, it had a path, and that was the only path you could kind of follow. This is kind of the same thing. You're still, like, you ride horses to certain areas, you walk with characters to certain areas, but this is a linear experience. There isn't an open world to explore at all, and there's very little in the way of, you know, like little hubs that you can kind of get lost in between story beats and stuff. This is like beat for beat for beat for beat. And that means it's a shorter game. I haven't finished it, but apparently it's like 10 to 12 hours or so, which is fine. Like, I'm totally, you know, I crave more games like that sometimes, you know, especially when you're bouncing between a 50-hour Death Stranding or something like that. But it just feels like a lot of that has come at the expense of player agency and gameplay. The shootouts feel a bit sterile and kind of straightforward. These stealth sections are incredibly simple, and they commit a sin of like 10, 15 years ago, where you have a lot of insta-fail stealth sessions, which just feel kind of nonsense when a lot of them devolve into shootouts at the end anyway. So it's like, why was I being penalized for that in the first place? It just feels very rigid in its structure. It wants you to play in a certain way and is like, you cannot deviate from that way. And then on top of it, the way it wants you to play isn't that engaging at the same time. So it's a bit of a bummer from that perspective. I think the story is really interesting, and I think it's very well acted and looks really good. Even though it is kind of like caught up in a lot of like mafia tropes, it is still, I think, captivating just because of the setting and the performances. I'm playing more, but based off of the first couple of hours, which again is like a third, almost a half of the game, I'm just like, this doesn't feel like it's evolving in a way that's going to actually change much over the next 50% of the game. And if this is what the gameplay is, fine, but it feels like a step back from even like your Mafia 1 and 2, which I think a lot of people were hoping it was going to return to. So just feels like a game from 10 years ago, and mechanically, while presentation-wise, it's definitely up there for one of the best ones in the more modern times, if that makes sense.
It's interesting, because I was saying to you before we started recording that I've not played a single Mafia game. I've always just assumed, I don't know, my memories failed me. I just always assumed all Mafia games were like these open world GTA-esque like games, and they were north of 20, 30, 40 hours of gameplay. So I was a bit surprised when, I don't know if I saw it in a news article or on social media, it's like the playtime of this is 10 to 12 hours. It's like, oh, I had no intention of playing it actually, but because like you said, sometimes you play a Death Stranding and you just want something shorter as a bit of a palate cleanser. but I'll definitely try it out because it is shorter. It's this weird thing where that's actually made me want to play it more, because if it is as contained, I say quick, I don't mean quick, but like a shorter, quick 10 to 12 hour jaunt, like I'll at least try it out to see what the vibe is.
Just like watching a TV series almost. It's like a 10 episode series,
What? So I know it's like early Mafia days, but what is it? 1901? Is it 1880? Do you know?
Yeah, I need it. Let me just double check, because it is the early 90s, but I want to
something.
see.
Yeah.
It is like very, very early in the Mafia days. It's like, it is a prequel in all senses of the word. I've forgotten the exact year. Let me just double check.
I mean, I also wonder if because I don't know how big of a Mafia fan you are, how many Mafia games you've played, but I do wonder if it's a prequel, maybe there's a lot of fan service as well. Of like, oh, this is the origin of that character. Like, I don't actually know. I'm just guessing here.
Yeah, this is early 1900s. Like, yeah, I was right. It's like 1904, 1906, like pre-World War One sort of things. Or like
sort of thing.
During then. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, the Mafia 2 happened like the 1960s, 1970s, around then. So, the gap between them may seem like quite large, but it's not really. I mean, the main character from Mafia 2, when he appeared in Mafia 3, which was meant to be like an early 90s or 1980s sort of setting, I think it was set just after the Vietnam War. Like, he was already old then.
Okay.
So the series has always occupied the like historical space of older generations, and I think this just goes back because it is like a pseudo prequel to a sense. It is sort of set in a fictional town that was previously in Mafia 2. And I think just kind of like, based off what I can see, is just kind of showing how that family was established, or, just how some of the characters got into the positions they were in that you kind of like recognize or hear about in the first two Mafia games. So, it is cool that we are able to get smaller experiences, quote unquote, in these more established franchises, like a $50 game in a series like Mafia that is completely, they're not trying to hide that this is a smaller game. But yeah, it's, I wouldn't even describe it as like wide open. It just feels linear, and that's fine. Like, I'm totally fine with that. I just wish the gameplay, the cover shooting and the stealth just felt a bit, more captivating, or didn't like feel exactly the same in hour 1 as they do in hour 5. And that's why it just feels like I'm watching a story unfold rather than
actually
playing a evolving video game.
Okay. That's fair.
But it's a good thing that story and the actors are captivating, at least, because if that wasn't the case, then this thing would be like a complete non-starter, in my opinion.
I'll definitely give it a try. Now that I'm not currently playing a review game or anything hardcore or whatever.
I think you'll dig it. And again, it is a visual treat. On the PlayStation, it looks good. It's a good looking game with a good looking setting, I think, and I think that counts for something for sure. I saw people, or at least I say people, but I saw one tweet of like, oh, this game doesn't even have swimming mechanics like Mafia 3. It's like, well, you can just wade into shallow waters. Do you want the dude to like get down and have a bath in the sea? Like, what's going on here?
I don't know.
I hate shit like that. It's really so annoying.
The things some people complain about, I don't like.
It's just, if I'm not mistaken, they announced yesterday that the game is getting
a swimming
open world update, which is strange. Let me just double check that.
No swimming update though. Are they even listening to the fans?
Crazy. It's getting a free ride mode in a future update, which lets you just kind of explore the world freely. Oh, here on GameSpot, written by our own Darren Bonethars.
What?
Telling us about
Darren
this.
Who? Never
Checkpoint Chat's favorite games journalist.
Oh, stop. What a guy.
So that's Mafia The Old Country. I think it's still worth it if you're really invested in this franchise. But I think just go in with your expectations aligned on what it is and what it isn't.
Cool. Yeah, I think next time I record, I will have hopefully played, if not finished that. But I have spent so much time in this period of beta periodness playing Battlefield 6, which I think you said you've also played a bit. So for those of you who don't know, Battlefield 6 is coming out in October, I think.
I think it's beginning of October, if I'm not mistaken.
I have no idea. It's coming out in October. Actually, I have gameplay for this as well.
Oh my god.
And
45 minutes in and we're getting our first lick of gameplay.
Obviously leading up to release, DICE are doing, open beta weekend. So last weekend was the first week, and then this weekend now they've bought one of the new maps in, Russia's in here, and I've just been playing. Given that it's an open beta, when this sort of stuff happens, I'll play like an hour or two, just to get a feel for the game. I cannot stop playing this game. I think I've played maybe 8 or 9 hours now, and this is still the beginning of the weekend, so I'm going to play a lot more. And it's weird. I've played a lot of Battlefield over the years. I've played Battlefield Bad Company 2 and Battlefield 3. I still think were like the peaks. Battlefield 4 was fun. I can't remember why it wasn't as beloved as 3. Maybe it was bugs, that sort of thing. And then just after that, I just kind of nosedived off the franchise. Never really played Battlefield 5. Battlefield 2042, I played that beta and I was like, I don't know, it doesn't feel right. There's something about it that just didn't sit well with me. And then into Battlefield 6, and good God, it just feels so good. It feels like Battlefield that I remember, Bad Company 2 and Battlefield 3. And not for any particular reason other than it just, I don't know, there's something about it. It's recaptured that Battlefield mayhem, which is just so fun to play. It looks good. I mean, the footage you're watching now, I think it's obviously not the highest settings on PC, so the game can look a lot better. But visually, it runs super smooth on my PC, and it just sounds great. Battlefield games always nail that thing of you feel like you're walking or running through a war zone. Things are exploding, shrapnel's going off, bullets are flying. You can hear like dust crumbling around you as the buildings collapse. And it's so good at making you feel like you're part of this grand scale battle, whether you just a dude running around and with your gun, or you're driving a tank or a jet, whatever. So I've just thoroughly enjoyed my time with it thus far.
Yeah, no, I fully agree with you. I think it's I've never been into Battlefield in the way that you have, but I agree that I played a lot of Battlefield 3 back in the day. And kind of like didn't really keep up with the series either. I just it from then on, it just wasn't the thing that I gravitated towards, and I played a lot more Call of Duty during those years. And it is kind of a mindset shift coming into a Battlefield after playing a lot of Call of Duty, just because they are completely different types of games. Like one is borderline an arcade shooter, and this one very much is your team-based squad shooter, where if you are just trying to lone wolf it out there, you're just not going to have a good time, and you're going to feel like you're just banging your head against a wall because everyone is just taking you down. But once you start slowing down, start kind of not even like super coordinating with your squad, just kind of sticking around other people and working as a unit rather than a single player, I think that's where this kind of clicks. And I think Battlefield 6 recaptures that with a system that feels good to play. It feels good to run around. It feels good to shoot. And that's been definitely lacking from the series for a very long time, I think. Yeah. So I've had a good time in the beta as well. And for the first time since, I think, 3, I'm excited to pick this up at launch. I just haven't really felt that in a long time. And it's going to have a campaign, which is really cool as well. So I'm excited for that.
I'll play Battlefield campaigns. I mean, I have a lot to say about... I don't have a lot to say. There's actually not much to say about first-person shooter campaigns for the likes of Call of Duty and Battlefield in general. I'm like, they're fun. They can be fun, but the meat of the game is typically in the multiplayer. So I'll definitely play the Battlefield campaign. I'm interested to see what have they done, because it's been... did 2042 even have a single-player campaign? I don't think it did.
No, 2042 didn't have.
It was just straight
Battlefield...
4
Battlefield 1 had like those vignettes, which were kind of like...
I did play Battlefield 1, I remember that. Battlefield 5 I didn't play. It's very confusing if you're struggling to follow along.
It's very confusing. because Battlefield 5 was World War 2. Battlefield 1 went back to World War 1. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Battlefield 5 also had like a vignette sort of style
I
single
can't
player.
recall. But just saying it out loud.
Battlefield 3 and 4 were great. Great campaigns. I thoroughly enjoyed
them. Can we just take a moment to appreciate that we had Battlefield 3, 4, then we went back to 1, then we went back to 5.
No, it was 5 and then 1.
Was it 5 and then 1? Was it not the other way around?
Nope. Even more confusing because it was like World War 2, okay. No, World War 1 again, okay. Wow. Now 2042. It's like, okay.
What is going on? I thought it was the other way around. I'll have to look that up.
I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure it was.
I think it was Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, Battlefield 1, then Battlefield 5.
We can definitely agree it went 3 and then 4. Oh no, you're right. Yeah, Battlefield 1 was 2016 and then 5 was 2018.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I know.
Why? Oh, and between them, we forgot the most important, Battlefield Hardline.
Was Hardline the like bank robbery one?
Yep.
I never even touched it.
Same. It just felt a bit icky that it was a cops versus robbers game, and the campaign was very much like, hey, you're SWAT and you are just murdering people.
Yeah. So
kind of
I
weird.
don't know. It's I have hope for this game just because the beta has just felt and looked good and just been fun to play. I mean, I'll try the campaign. Don't get me wrong, but it's got all the classic Battlefield stuff. I mean, if you're unfamiliar, Battlefield's big. So all the maps kind of have variations of them. So the biggest one is probably Conquest, which is, I think it must be 64 player, right? These huge 32 versus 32 player maps, and it includes everything. You can get into a helicopter, you can fly a jet, you can drive a tank, you can drive a jeep, and all the stuff in between. And in Conquest, you're just trying to control 5 points across the map. So if you're watching the footage, that's exactly what's happening here. This map's a kind of medium size, so there's just tanks, no helicopters or jets. And then there's Rush, which is last weekend. It wasn't part of the beta. Rush is now here this weekend. That's kind of like your more traditional. It's that thing where you're still rushing 2 points, but you have to plant a bomb at both points, and then once you take both points, the map opens up and there's another 2 points to proceed to and capture. And that is like Conquest is fun.
That is what I remember from Battlefield 3.
Yeah, and Bad Company too. When I first played that, I was like, it is that Conquest is fun. Like going around the map, just doing whatever with your squad, capturing points, good fun. But Rush for me is my favorite game mode because it's got like that Counter-Strike-esque thing of you trying to plant or armor bomb and then defend it. It's maybe less tactical because obviously there's a lot of chaos happening. But it's led to some super tight moments where, it's just I've had some good highlights. I'm like, man, this is only possible in the likes of a Battlefield where there's just such chaos. It just captures that feeling of being in a full-on like battle zone, whatever. It's interesting.
It's a pity that you can't choose just Rush, right? Because like you have to choose a playlist that mixes all of them.
No, you can filter. I did see last night you can specify like I just want to play Rush on this map, for example, one of the 4 maps. Okay. Whether you find a game or not, I guess you have to see it. But I think this beta, the player numbers have been huge. 250,000 on Steam alone.
Oh, Steam hit 500,000.
Oh, is it 500,000? Okay.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the biggest betas of all time. Even it surpassed like Monster Hunter Wilds, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Or it's like on the same level, something like that. It's you haven't seen sort of excitement for Battlefield as a franchise this since probably 3. I think
a lot of people are going like, oh. Yeah, this feels like the Battlefield I've missed. That said, I've seen criticisms online where I'm like, I don't quite agree. So I love the combats with the vehicles and stuff. Don't get me wrong. I love the big open maps, but I also do enjoy the smaller scale stuff. So one of the new maps they've got, I think it's not called New York, but it's set in New York. It's like a 24 player map, so it's 12v12, which is smaller for Battlefield, no vehicles. So it's just weapons only. And people are like, oh, why are they doing this? I don't want to play Call of Duty. I just want to play Battlefield. I'm like, it's still Battlefield. It's a different game mode. Like, and I'm not opposed to it. Sometimes I do just want to have just weapon combat without getting shot by a tank or a helicopter or whatever. So it's just like weird criticism, and I think it comes down to purists. If you've been sleeping on a rock, there's Team Call of Duty and Team Battlefield, and those fan bases are always like, oh, like Call of Duty's it's an arcade shooter, like Battlefield's a real game because whatever, and then Call of Duty people have their own criticisms, and it's like, they're just different games, man. Like, they're still shooters, but they both have their own strengths and pros and cons, whatever. I don't know. It's the criticisms I've seen of the beta, I'm like, I don't quite agree. I'll see with the full game. Let's talk about when the full game releases, and then we can see if there are too many small maps like Call of Duty. I don't know.
Yeah, I've seen that going around as well. And again, it's just a beta, so I guess they're trying to get data on all their different types of maps, because like they just put big maps in the beta. They don't really know how to balance the smaller ones. So yeah. I get that, but it doesn't feel like, at least even in the beta alone, like you are without options if you really just like the larger scale stuff. Like there's lots of that. So yeah, I also don't really understand where that comes from. But so far I've had a good time on the much larger maps, and that's the sort of game mode that I never used to really vibe with. And I'm still terrible at it. Like, I'm in the bottom half of the table most of the time, and I'm getting shot, in areas where I should be like looking around blind spots and not really taking risks on, big roads, trying to run across them, stuff like that. But I'm having a good time playing it. I don't feel frustrated, and I'm enjoying the thing of like learning Battlefield's language again. And I think in Battlefield 5 and 1, which I played, I just didn't have the patience for that, just because I wasn't having a good time with the other things around it. It didn't feel as good. It didn't feel as captivating. So just like Battlefield 3, which is the one that I really got into here in terms of multiplayer, I think the same is going to happen for 6, and I'm excited for the launch in October, which isn't that far away.
No, super close. Yeah, it's an interesting one, because if you're unfamiliar with Battlefield, it's kind of, sorry for the comparison, I mean, it's kind of not Call of Duty in the sense that Call of Duty is very good at, you just want to get thrown in, you just run and gun. You run around smaller maps, and you like deathmatch. You die, you respawn, whatever. Battlefield, it should not really be played that way. It should be treated like, if I was actually in a war, would I run across an open road? Like, probably not. Like, I would hug cover, I'd be more tactical. And I think if you can slow down and play it like that, you take the time to learn the maps and you take it a lot slower. It's unreal the sort of satisfaction you can have in this game. Particularly, like, a good example is sniping. What's really cool about, I suppose all modern games have this now, but Battlefield I've always known as, when you're doing, like, if you're sniping, for example, the maps are huge. So if you want to shoot somebody on the other side of the map, you have to account for bullet drop, depending on how far they are. And there's just nothing like nailing a headshot from like 400 plus meters away, just because you've taken the time, you've learned how the weapons feel, you've taken, terrain into account. It is just a game about, don't get me wrong, it's frantic, but it benefits you and your team to like slow down and just think about like, what are you actually going to do, as opposed to, and I don't mean it in a negative way. Call of Duty is like, you can just jump in and like go in and do whatever, just run and gun. Battlefield, I think that's where the fan bases are split apart and argue. It's like they're both playing the games wrong, I guess.
Yeah. Can see you've got you're locked in on this gameplay. This
was at like 1 a.m. yesterday, going, oh shit, I didn't record anything for the podcast. It's like, I'll just have a quick game, and I was like, oh my god, it's too much fun.
It must have been one of your better ones for the night, because my goodness, you are making some great shots here.
I'm just good
placements, and it's like cool watching footage like this, because you also then learn like, oh, okay, this is the sort of approach I should be taking to firefights, because you're finding people like out in the open. You're finding people like me essentially taking risks that they shouldn't be taking and picking them off pretty easily. So. And
the thing is, like, when the beta started, I very much wasn't doing this. I mean, I barely crouched. Whereas now, no, like, oh yeah, like I should go prone. If I'm capturing a point, hide around a corner. Don't like just. I should just pause and think about it. And
do you know if they've adjusted the time to kill? Because I feel like the first beta weekend it was very low. Like I was dropping very quickly, and it feels slightly different now. But it might be placebo. I'm not too sure.
I don't know. It's been interesting for me because most of my game time has been with friends in South Africa. So I've been playing with a slightly higher ping because it prioritizes obviously the party. And it's still been like obviously there's a little bit of a delay, but I've still had a great time. Whereas, what I'm getting at, that is most of my playtime. Whereas this footage was just me by myself on a UK server, so it's difficult to tell because I was like I could feel there wasn't that delay, because I had a low ping. But I'm like, I can't tell if that was time to kill or delay that I was feeling.
I see. Yeah, I see.
That makes sense. I did see that as well. People going like the time skill's way too low, and maybe it was again difficult for me to say because with that, even with that slightly higher ping, there were times where it was like I was around the corner. How did I die? It's because there's a delay. Obviously, I died before I got around the corner. Yeah, I guess we'll see this weekend. I'm gonna play a lot more. That's my plan after this podcast. I'm gonna just play a bunch more.
Sounds like a great time to spend your day.
Yeah.
Cool. I think you have one more game to talk about. A locally developed game.
I do, and I actually do have footage for that, which I recorded. When did I record this? A while ago. Let me just put me in the game here quickly. So yeah, there's a locally developed game by what's a studio called Yellow Lab Games. Called Metavoidal, which is an action roguelite where you, the player, you are a drummer who, I think, in terms of story, you're trying to join this legendary band, but turns out they're evil. So you're trying to now escape them. And the enemies you're fighting are actually like diehard fans of the band, So it's a roguelite, and it ticks all the boxes in that sense where it's got all the good stuff you'd want from a game like this. It's got, you've got permanent upgrades. As you play, you unlock a thing called exposure, EXP. See what they did there? Exposure points that you can turn into permanent upgrades. You start with more health, you do more damage with certain things, whatever. So like ticks that box. It's got the thing of you earn currency with each run, and there'll be shops between like each sort of level where you can spend that money to buy items or health or different upgrades. But I think so it ticks all those boxes in terms of roguelite. But I think what this game does differently, and it's so interesting, and I don't know if another game has done it, is that your attack sequence basically is built around the 1, 2, 3, 4 tempo of a drum beat, in the sense that you have 4 attacks in your sequence, but you can dictate what you want those 4 attacks to be. Like you can completely customize it. So, for example, you can say, I want my attack 1 and 2 to be a low damage, like attack. Okay, so like it does 1 damage, half a second wind up, and that's it. But then I want my third attack to be like a harder hitting 3 damage attack, but it takes like 1 second to pull off. And then my fourth attack, I want to be a kick, which has like a sort of a mid range wind up, like 600ths of a second, but it does 2 damage. So it's quite interesting in that you unlock different, like drum techniques that you can build. So this is what you're seeing on the screen now. You can sort of build out your attack based on that. And I don't know if I've seen it in another game. So it's quite interesting because it was just fun to experiment with. I bounced between just having a sequence of 4 very fast, low attack damage dealing attacks, or 4 very slow but high damage dealing attacks, and mixes between them. And it was just quite fun because then that feeds into, obviously, like any good roguelite, you get different passives and abilities that you can then build into these attacks. So the way the abilities work, you choose there are 4 main soundtracks in the game, and you basically choose 2 of them for a run, and they'll all be tied to a different element. So one of those records will be fire, one of those records will be like oil, one will be lightning, and the 4th one is holy. Okay, so for example, you might start a run and go like, cool, I've chosen the fire album, and like any roguelites, it's a thing of every now and then you get the chance to choose like one of 3 things, to build out your skill set. You go, cool, with the fire, I want with this fire attack, the first attack in my sequence is going to set the enemy on fire, for example. So you get different things like that where you, as the run goes on, you're obviously customizing, like building out your skill set. And I just thought it was quite a unique way, with the fact that you can swap between these different techniques, to do that. And it was just good fun. Like, I think I spent 13 hours playing the game. I only beat the boss on that 13th hour. Visually, if you're looking at the footage, it's this really cool, like, pixel aesthetic. I think it looks really good.
I like it a lot.
And it ran like perfectly. I don't think I had any bugs. It just looks good to play. And the soundtrack, oh my god, the soundtrack of this game, I think, so I wrote, if you do care, you the listener want to read more about it, I wrote a review for one of our friends, Noel, who runs fangirl.com, and I was saying in that review that this game is built around like metal music, and metal is just like one of my least favorite genres of music. Not because I don't have anything against it, it's just not my personal preference. But the soundtrack for this game is really good. There are a bunch of different songs, and just having them play during the action you're seeing on screen, like there were some proper earworms that I thoroughly enjoyed. But yeah, I don't know if you've not heard of this game or seen anything about it yourself.
No, I've seen it going around because, like I said, there's a bunch of friends we know in the local industry that have worked on this or have been attached to this game, and it's been in development from what I can tell for quite some time. Yeah. And it's just cool to see a new studio locally like take on a game that is, for all intents and purposes, just a good one of the genre it's aiming at, like a good Metroidvania. It's got a good distinct style. It gives like almost like Crypt of the Necrodancer vibes, but without actually trying to mimic that style of game at all.
Yeah.
And I think just looking at the footage here, the combat looks really good, like really robust, and looks crunchy, and the dashes mixed with the big enemy or the big enemy counts and all of the chaos that's happening around you during attacks. It just looks visually like captivating and cool. So I really want to pick this up now. I assume it's on Steam.
It's on Steam,
correct?
and it's coming to Xbox, I think, next week.
Is it coming to Xbox? Okay.
Yeah,
I think this would be great to play on like a Steam Deck or maybe even Nintendo Switch if it comes there.
Yeah. Put this on Switch. It would be right on home there. I think I didn't mention it. It does have a dodge roll, which is, you have to have that in a game.
Okay.
And what's also quite nice is that there's just little attentions to detail. And it's one of those things where it's difficult to explain, but when you play the game, you feel it and you'll get it. It's like even the dodge roll, for example, there's a little sound prompt and a little thing that says perfect when you dodge properly, like perfectly, when you like just time your dodge roll. And even that, you can have some abilities that feed into that, where you might get an option with, say, the fire album, like if every time you dodge roll perfectly, you ignite the enemy you've just avoided, as an example.
Cool.
So there's a lot of like variation and some careful thought into the sort of abilities you get. So I had a lot of fun. Like,
how long does a run usually last?
So I was going to get to that. I have some criticisms of the game though, and one of them is that the runs are just a bit too long. I found when I got to the final boss a couple times, which I'll talk about shortly, that was north of an hour, like an hour 10 minutes a run, which it just feels very. I mean, what is an hour? It's not a lot of time, but it feels very long when you've put in all this effort to build out your character, then you die to the last boss, and it's just it's gone. And even that, there are some great bosses. There's a boss called Baroctopus, which is this organ playing squid basically, And that boss fight it's very good. In terms of the music is good, the boss design's great. There's a good sort of rhythm and cadence to how attacks are signposted and foreshadowed, and how you're meant to like interact with that boss. But that is like one of only a handful of bosses, and the others aren't as strong. I found, like, you just saw me fight a boss now. It's this floating skull thing. It's not as distinct as Baroctopus, and the attacks are a bit like eh. And then the final boss, after you've played for like an hour to get there, is there might be a trick or a thing I haven't figured out yet, but I thought the final boss was a bit too long in the tooth and like challenging, more challenging in that I couldn't out heal. Like, it takes a long time to beat the last boss because there's a huge health bar and there are things happening around it and things you have to do, but I just could not out heal the damage the boss was doing and the enemies around it. So there's like a few balances.
It's just like a bit of a balance issue.
Yeah, so like it's ultimately a balancing thing, and the only reason I think I managed to beat the game is because I ended up getting an ability, an item, like a passive equipable thing, where I'd have a bubble form around me to take 1 instance of damage, and it refreshes like every 20 to 30 seconds, whatever the time is. So I had that to help me absorb, like survive that long run. And I had a passive where there's a high chance for enemies to drop health. So all it became, the only reason I beat that final boss ultimately is because became very patient, like, oh my god, I'm on like 1 health. Let me just play it very carefully, wait for my bubble to regenerate before I go try attack the boss again. Or I'll play it carefully and I'll just keep killing enemies until I have a bit more health, that I can be a bit more aggressive with my attacks, whatever. So there's a few things like that where it's not game breaking. I think with enough time, patches, maybe even downloadable content, whatever their plans are, the game will definitely get better. And it's a very strong foundation. It's not perfect. Like in my review for Fangirl, it's like, maybe it's an unfair comparison, but my benchmark is the likes of Hades, Dead Cells, Vampire Survivors. Those games are like just so good at what they do. Where Metavoidal is very good, but it's not quite on the same level. It can be with time, but it's just not quite there yet. I think there are definitely some really good ideas, and the game is fun to play. Like, I thoroughly enjoy doing runs.
Yeah.
And even in reviewing it, I was like, oh my god, like, you and I have played games where we review like, oh, I have to like force myself to play this game to, I've got to. There's nothing worse than having to play a game to review a game you're not enjoying playing. I did not have that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I did not have that with this. I did not have that with this at all. Like, I was very much looking forward to coming home, doing a run or two to see if I could get to the final boss. How would I build out like my next run, that sort of thing. It's really good fun. And you're right, this would live on a handheld. Oh my god, put it on Switch, put it on like a Steam. I think it is Steam Deck verified, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think it would be great to play on a Steam Deck. These are the sorts of games that like thrive on a portable platform, because you can just like, do a few runs in bed, put it that way. And I do agree with you that an hour per run is maybe a bit long in the tooth, but yeah, I think these are like balancings that could change in the future.
Yeah, it's a good game though. I think I'm definitely keen to play more of it. Yeah, and that soundtrack, man, if it's not on Spotify, put it on Spotify.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. I'm happy again to have more local developers like putting out games, and also just glad that this finally made its way out, because it has been in development for a long time, and you hate to see these sorts of games eventually just kind of like wither away and not make it to the finish line. So it's great that it came out, and it's great that it's good as well, and I'm very happy for the team, and I'm hoping this means it's a springboard for them to continue making games, and hopefully maybe push into a sequel for this, or an entirely new game, just to kind of stick around and get the like industry growing, which would always be good to see.
Yeah, Yeah, I think.
Cool.
Look at us, an hour 15.
Yeah, 4 games. Can you imagine? This is what happens when you take such a break.
No,
and then you just have tons to talk about. And there's, a bunch coming out. I'm already playing something for review that I think can chat about in like 2 weeks. And then September hits and it's like all systems go. I mean, got lots coming, like Ghost of Yota and Battlefield in October. I think September's got Borderlands 4
and Metal Gear September.
Metal Gear's end of this month.
What?
Metal Gear's like
end
next
of
week.
August?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's like the 26th of August or something like that.
Yeah.
Let me.
That is wild.
Solid Delta is 28th of August, so 2 weeks from Thursday. Yeah, so less than 2 weeks to go for Metal Gear Solid Delta. I am hyped for that game. I am so keen.
Yeah.
Love me a good Metal Gear. It's called Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, by the way.
Man.
Why not just Metal Gear Solid 3? Who can say?
I can't wait.
Delta, 3 sides of a triangle. You listen.
Is anyone picking up the remake for anything other than that long ladder scene?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I hope that there's a button in the main menu to just like jump to that immediately.
That would be hilarious if there was just an infinite ladder prompt in the menu, like, you want to climb the ladder? Yeah, it just plays the song.
Yes or yes.
Absolute best. No.
Yeah, it's good. I'm keen for that. But as always, that's the end of the show. We hope you've had a good few weeks in between our shows and glad that you're back listening to us again. And yeah, we'll be putting out episodes as we see fit, but now with the releases kind of like snowballing, I assume those will be a bit more frequent. But now also there's no moves on the horizon or big changes like that, so hopefully we'll get to a bit more of these in the near future. Fuck yeah, jeez.
Spoke too soon.
Maybe I should try a podcast from Australia, just like completely different time zone.
What is that time difference? Are you gonna do your evening or your morning? My
pretty much. I think it's like 11 or 10 hour time difference to London. So yeah, 9 p.m. my side, 10 a.m. your side.
Can do that. Sweet.
I'll podcast with the giant spider next to me. It'll be great.
What are you gonna play? Are you gonna take your old Switch with you?
It's a good question. I definitely want to take. Well, I won't have a Switch. I plan to pick up a Switch 2 when I'm there.
Nice. Day one, you land.
And yeah, immediately switch to time. But I'm going to take my Steam Deck, and there's actually 2 games that I've been wanting to play for a while, or at least one of them. The other one just came out this week. But there's a lone Japanese indie dev who made a game a while back called Electhead. It's a short puzzle platformer where whenever you touch a surface, it becomes electrified. So different surfaces are conductive to electricity, but you conduct electricity just based on where you are. And that leads to some really cool platforming puzzles. So I've had that on my wish list for ages. It's like $70. I'm going to grab that. And then that same dev put out a game this week or the week prior called Ooh. It's just like oh. That's it. And it's apparently a pretty short platformer Metroidvania.
Oof,
and been getting rave reviews. People are just like, this is so inventive, really cool puzzles, really, brief to the point. And that's $100 on Steam. So I'm like, cool, I'm going to grab both of those. And those are going to be my travel games.
Very nice.
Yeah. I look at Ooh and I'm like, this is a Matty game, through and through.
Damn. Add it to the wish list.
Got a really, really cool visual style. It's described as a charming exploration puzzle platformer where you discover creative ways to use bombs. Great.
Say less.
Yeah, say less. Yeah. And for $100, it's like,
I'll take it.
So, yeah, those are the things I think I'm going to play as soon as I'm in the air for fucking 16 hours at a time. Kill me.
Good luck. Godspeed.
Yeah, Godspeed.
Is your company
but
flying
either
business
before
class?
then or just after, we'll be back with another episode. So, yeah, play lots of games between now and then. Hopefully, I'll finish Death Stranding between now and then, and we'll definitely check back in relatively soon. So, yeah, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Matty.
Thank you for making the time. on this fine Saturday.
We will see you next time. Stay safe. Have fun. Goodbye.